Are you tired of feeling a bit off? Are you trying to prioritize your health so you can live fully? You can be a billionaire, but if you can't get out of bed in the morning, that means nothing. If you have a desire to work, eat, travel, age, and live more free, then you should subscribe because you're in the right place. Here at Whealthy Performance, we go over the latest scientific breakthroughs in fitness and health. Whealthy Performance mission is to help others understand health and fitness in a more engaging way and be less intimidated so you can begin taking control. My name is Chase Wheeler and I'm the founder of Whealthy Performance. In 2017, I was diagnosed with PANS, ulcerative colitis, and inflammatory bowel disease. I know I'm not the only one who understands what it feels like when doctors are not able to help you solve your medical issues. I bounced from referral to referral trying to understand what was wrong with me, searching for anything that would help ease my gastrointestinal pain. That's when Whealthy Performance was born. Leveraging my experience parsing through scientific journals and jargon, I dig through the latest breakthroughs in health and fitness research and translate them into plain English and actionable steps. In my athletic career, I was California state champion in the long jump, and most recently, I was inducted into De La Salle Hall of Fame. I received a full scholarship to the University of California, Berkeley, where I was a 2013 NC2A qualifier in the long jump. After graduating Cal with a degree in healthcare and later going back to achieve all of my pre-medical prerequisites, I worked as a senior research associate for Aduro Biotech, where we researched immunotherapies targeting various diseases, including cancer, autoimmune, and infectious disease. One thing remains true is that it's always easier to achieve a goal with a community of people with similar values. Values of community, trust, freedom, exploration, and innovation. And that's what Whealthy Performance is focused on creating. So make sure you subscribe with post notifications turned on so you can interact and become part of the community. Remember, your solution is your solution. No one treatment works for everyone. Just to update you a little bit on the weekend, I guess, is that I helped my dad do some renovations. They have rental units, and it was super fun. We were doing demolition work. So demo, you just kind of bust up like tiles and countertops and like fun stuff to me just because I've been doing it for so long, I guess. But it's also fun to just spend time with my dad and swing hammers, essentially. Swing hammers. Okay. Another update is this month's goal. This month's goal is to eat a probiotic with every meal. I did not achieve that. I had a super busy week and many of my meals came just kind of while I was working, which I don't recommend. It was actually one of my overrated things of last month, but I wasn't conscious about how I was eating or I mean, what I was eating, of course you're conscious about, but like I didn't have it in my mind that my goal was to eat a probiotic. So I missed it on a few meals, but I don't think I missed a dinner without a probiotic. So that part I did well. So I'll take the dub on that one. My probiotic of choice with dinner would be kimchi, just because it's super easy. It's right there. You can always I just reached in, got my chopsticks, ate some kimchi so that I was able to fulfill my goal. Along the way, I also consumed miso soup. I had a pickle, kombucha and kefir, of course, kombucha almost with every dinner. And I had a lot of kefir this month, which I love. It's my way to have a sweet-ish flavor without actually eating dessert. So I really love kefir. So both of those things count as probiotics. However, with this goal for this month, I wanted to eat something with fiber in it. So the drinks definitely don't have fiber. So I want to do better at eating things like more kimchi, sauerkraut, pickles, any kind of fermented veggies, just because you also get the probiotics, but you also get that fiber in there as well, which we know fiber is great for gut health. And then I wanted to touch on what does it look like? What are we trying to do with this goal? What can we expect to see while we're eating all of these probiotics? Are you unable to eat what you want without feeling sick, nauseous, or getting an upset stomach? We're going over 5 signs that your gut health is the problem and 5 things that you can do about it. But before we get into it, go ahead and comment below and let me know. How do you know that your gut is not doing right? What are the signs? Are you nauseous? Do you get, indigestion sometimes? What are the signals for you that let you know that your gut health is a little bit off? If you're looking for more information on how to improve your gut health, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to have many more videos, many more articles like this. Okay, I navigated to my article, 5 signs of an unhealthy gut and 5 things you can do about it. You see, I wrote it on February 9th. Got my nice little thumbnail here. I'm not mad at that thumbnail, to be honest with you. It's not bad. There are multiple signs to identify a healthy or unhealthy gut. The tricky part, as with anything, is that gut health is variable person to person. So different signs show up for different people. However, what we're going to cover today are the 5 biggest indicators: your mood, your quality of your stool, poop, weight, immune health, and bone health. Having problems in these 5 areas of your life are often indicators of not only gut-related issues, but larger health issues. Because the gut, as we know, is the center of your health's universe. Right? First and foremost, we're going to check our mood. Mental health is key. It may be especially important for people who experience mood disorders, mood swings, stress, depression, anxiety. Like, how many times have you been anxious or upset and your stomach is really actually upset as well? As a person who used to compete at a high level in athletics, the first signal to tell me like whether I'm ready to compete or not is how my gut is feeling. If I'm nervous or really anxious to get going with the competition, my gut is always going to be a bit iffy. You have to take the right steps. You get a protocol as an athlete, like, oh, I know I need to take care of my gut this many hours before I compete, because if you don't, when you step on the line, when you step on the court, when you step on the field, you're going to have to deal with it. Your mood being the indicator for your gut health makes complete sense when we discuss the gut-brain connection. There are neurons in our gut, the same that there are neurons in our brain, and they communicate. So checking your mood is going to be number one. Let's say if you're a bit more angsty than usual, a bit more stressed, a bit more depressed, maybe you can solve some of these things by taking care of your gut. The second sign of your gut health is going to be poop. That's right, stool. I know it's nasty maybe to talk about, but it's a real thing, and it's a real indicator that you can tell day by day how your gut is doing. I have this chart over here. It's called the Bristol stool chart. You can see there are 7 types, and it gives you kind of what they look like, as well as on this article, I have a link to the Bristol stool chart. You can go in there and really understand what's being said. The third way to tell the health of your gut is your immune system. The gut houses 70% of immune cells. It's basically the immune factory, right? It's where your immune system lives. Your gut plays a critical role in keeping our immune system balanced. A malfunction within our immune system can be expressed by a range of dysfunctions. So let's say you don't have like these big things like I have, maybe as ulcerative colitis. What are other ways that you can tell? I know some of us, you may get dry skin. That's one way to tell, because the microbiome is not only in your gut, it's on your skin as well. Maybe you're suffering from seasonal allergies more than you would. That's a good indicator of how your immune system is doing, which is a good indicator of how your gut health is doing. Allergies to food. Are you more sensitive to foods? Then that's probably a big sign that you need to repair your gut. The fourth way to tell how your gut is doing is your weight. Being overweight is going to cause a low level of chronic inflammation. And we know that sometimes inflammation is good, right? It's the signal for your body to come in and do work and get rid of certain things. But chronic inflammation that's there all the time, is not good. Your weight is going to play a significant toll on the strength of your gut barrier. These gut permeability issues can lead to an increase in fat and insulin resistance, and of course is going to have negative impact on your microbiome. The fifth way to tell if your gut is healthy or not is by checking your bone health. Gut health is linked to osteoporosis, a disease in which density and structure of bones are reduced. As we age, we get more prone to having weak bones, and having a healthy gut microbiome has been shown to increase bone mass and improve osteoporosis. But let's move into 5 things that you can do about it. The first, of course, is probiotics, whether that's eating probiotics as a part of our daily meals or taking probiotics in supplement form. The second thing we can do about it is prebiotics. Prebiotics are going to be fibrous foods. Because these fibers are slowly digested, they're able to make its way to the gut, right? It goes through our stomach, through our small intestine, to our gut. In here, the bacteria are able to feed on these prebiotics, making them multiply, replicate. The third thing you can do to protect your gut is to avoid chronic inflammation and systemic stress. Chronic stress can lead to physical changes in the brain, impacting the way our brain and gut communicate. You want to practice things like mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing, yoga, stretching. The fourth thing you're going to want to do is make daily exercise a priority. Exercise can determine gut health, and it doesn't take that much to see improvements. A small amount of consistent activity goes a long way. This is a theme that's been coming up fairly consistently for me, is that low levels of consistent activity are much better than high levels of inconsistent activity. Exercise can enrich a microflora, so diversity, and rebalance dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is whenever there's a disproportionate amount of bad bacteria to good bacteria. Number 5 is to focus on your eating habits. We already discussed probiotics and prebiotics. Focusing on your eating habits is going to be the quantities at which you eat, the amount of times which you eat, how late in the night that you eat. Do you fast? Do you not fast? Those kind of things. Speaking of fasting, check this video out. It's going to help teach you what fasting is, the different types of fasting, and how it can benefit your microbiome. Trivia for the day. Which of these is not a type of fascia? Superficial fascia, deep fascia, visceral fascia, or transcendental fascia. The fascia or muscle fascia is a thin casing of connective tissue that surrounds and holds every organ, blood vessel, bone, nerve, and muscle in place. I like to think about it as like a wetsuit around the body. When stressed or dehydrated, the muscle fascia tenses and constricts. And the answer is transcendental fascia. One of the many ways to release muscle fascia is foam rolling. There are so many ways to recover the body, but who actually has the time to research and try them? This guy. Before we begin, comment below what are your favorite ways to rehabilitate and prehabilitate the body, because prehab is just as important. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, because we're going to have many more articles just like this on fitness and health. I navigated to my how to foam roll, know these 8 things before trying foam rolling exercises. Again, I'm not mad at this thumbnail either. That's pretty cool. I think the video is not so good, but that's why we're making this one. The first thing to know about foam rolling is what is foam rolling. Foam rolling is a form of self-massage in which the muscles are rolled out and compressed utilizing circular foam device. There is mounting evidence that foam rolling is not only worth your time as a recovery tool, but also worth your time as a performance enhancer. The second thing to know is what exactly does foam rolling do? Foam rolling hydrates our muscles, fascia, the protective wetsuit under our skin made of collagen and water, which transports nutrients, oxygen, and cellular waste. So foam rolling is a way to help bring in new oxygen, new nutrients, and remove cellular waste from our muscle fascia. Again, I like to picture the muscle fascia as a wetsuit directly underneath the skin. Proper hydration of fascia helps treat inflammation and prevent injury. The third thing to know about foam rolling is what are the benefits from foam rolling.
You're going to help reduce and decrease stiffness, increase range of motion, increase blood flow, aid in recovery, reduce delayed onset muscle soreness, improve muscular performance and flexibility, increase recovery of the cardiovascular system, and rehydrate and replenish nutrients.
All these are clickable links if you want to go to the article and determine whether this is factual or fiction. The fourth thing to know, of course, is how do you foam roll? There are many ways to foam roll. You can hop on a foam roller and just experiment. That's probably my favorite way. But if you're looking for a guided source, I like to look at this book called The Melt Method. Why I like the Melt Method is that it's so easy it can be done while you watch the TV. The Melt Method is a hands-off self-treatment that is said to alleviate chronic pain, release tension, restore mobility. This is kind of all the stuff that we talked about, the benefits of foam rolling. It's really good. If you have the time, this is my favorite resource to learn how to foam roll by far. The fifth thing to know about foam rolling is should I do it pre-exercise or post-exercise? And spoiler alert, you should do both. The sixth thing to know is how often and how long should I foam roll? It looks like at least 20 minutes once a day is going to help provide you some good benefits. The seventh thing to know is it okay to foam roll every day? The answer is yes. And the eighth thing is what's better, foam rolling or other self-massages? Foam rolling is probably the easiest to learn how to do, the easiest to use, the easiest to navigate. But if you're interested in other things, there are things such as this hyper sphere ball that I really like, a Theragun. There are other ways to do this, but I think after stretching, foam rolling is my favorite thing as far as rehab and prehab. We're going over our first underrated, overrated of the day. Underrated is going to be breathing. Let's try it together. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. I don't know about you, but I feel better already. Underrated is going to be being in control of your breath. I can't tell you how many times I felt some type of way only to realize that I felt that way because I wasn't breathing. And literally, as soon as I do a breathwork exercise like the one we just did together, I feel much better. Let's practice some breathwork techniques to help manage stress, anxiety, to help our gut health, to help massage internally our organs and all this stuff. It sounds a little bit foo-foo, to be honest, but we've all been there, I think, in terms of not understanding why we feel a certain way, only to realize that oh wait, we've been taking little baby breaths this whole time. So breathwork technique can be just something simple like we did in the very beginning of this underrated, overrated. It could be alternate nostril breathing. I don't actually know how to do it. I have to look it up, but I know it's a thing. It could be box breathing where you breathe in for 7 seconds, you hold for 7 seconds, you breathe out for 7 seconds, you hold for 7 seconds. I actually really like that one. There are many other forms of breath work, so go find one that works for you and stick with it. Overrated is going to be juice. That includes green juice. While you might get some vitamins and minerals, you're missing out on one of the biggest factors, and that's going to be fiber. Fiber is digested very slowly, and because of that, it makes it to our large intestine, our gut. The good bacteria are able to feed on this fibrous bacteria, help keeping them healthy. Without the fiber, the juice is just sugar that is absorbed very quickly by your body, and it raises our blood sugar very high very quickly, which is not a good thing. Green juice could be a good way to introduce green vegetables into someone's life who doesn't really enjoy them, like myself. I use the green juice to kind of change my microbiome around a little bit so that I am more inclined to eat greens. So again, it could be good for people who don't enjoy veggies like our friend over there. Peanut butter is gluten-free, dairy-free, vegetarian, and vegan, but is it all good? I love peanut butter probably more than the next person. Not only is it protein packed, but it's a high calorie food for when you're on the go. You can get crunchy, creamy, smooth, light, dark, or sometimes even honey roasted. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite personal choice of peanut butter? When I was first diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, there were a very limited amount of things that I could eat. I was going through this whole process of figuring out what was good, what was bad, what would put me in a flare, what wouldn't. And after reviewing my list of foods that I thought were okay with my doctor, he told me to pause and take a look at peanut butter because of lectins. What now? That's right, lectins. Lectins may cause poor digestion, inflammation, and various diseases in some people. Lectins are present in most plant foods, but is especially high in legumes, beans, lentils, peas, soybeans, and peanuts. It's also found in what causes trouble in people in nightshade vegetables. That's going to include tomatoes and eggplants. So if you have digestive issues and you have been eating tomatoes and eggplants, you might want to think again. Literally everything on that list that I told you about, I have trouble digesting, but why not peanut butter? This may be the first time that I'm going to argue for processed foods, but it seems that the processing of peanuts is what helps me digest the peanut butter. You know, I have zero evidence to back this up. It just makes sense on why I do well with peanut butter. Because a protein is able to be destroyed at like high temperatures. So I think as a part of the processing process, those proteins, the lectins, may get destroyed. That's why you have to cook beans for so long and other things. Like I do a lot better on veggies that are well cooked over raw veggies. Like many things, this is going to be on an individual basis. Tell a person with great gut health that they can't eat beans or peanut butter and they may laugh at you, but give the same advice to someone struggling with their gut health and they may thank you for saving their life. What is really needed to determine if peanut butter or any other source of food is negatively impacting your gut health is going to be an elimination diet. Unfortunately, we're out of time for this video, so go ahead and subscribe and stay tuned whenever we discuss elimination diets.
Hey, you very good. See you next time.